President Park Geun-hye is in Brunei presenting her ASEAN-oriented diplomacy blueprint to a receptive audience. A U.S. congressman speaks out against Japan for failing to take responsibility for its institution of wartime sex slavery. And Samsung Electronics makes waves with the world's first smartphone with a curved screen. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Thursday, October 10th. I'm Luke Clary. In Brunei, President Park Geun-hye presented an ASEAN-oriented diplomacy blueprint to a receptive group of delegates, agreeing to expand ties between Korea and ASEAN in fields of politics, security, society, and culture.
President Park Geun-hye met with ASEAN leaders and stressed the need for strengthened cooperation.
정치, 외교, 경제, 문화 등 모든 면에서 폭넓은 교류가 이루어지기를 기대합니다.
Park and the ASEAN summit agreed to establish a channel for Korea and the member nations to discuss security matters. In order to strengthen economic ties, the Korea ASEAN FTA will be upgraded and a business council is to be established. In addition, cultural centers will be founded in order to expand social and cultural exchanges. Park also held bilateral ties. She asked the King of Brunei to support Korean firms trying to work on his government projects. With the Prime Ministers of Singapore and Australia, the President discussed FTA matters and plans to increase investment.
미래 유망한 분야의 협력과 지속적으로 발전시켜 나갔으면 합니다.
Park and the President of Myanmar discussed the opening of markets and advancing infrastructure. Today, Park met with the leaders of China and Japan and attended the East Asian Summit talks to discuss regional issues.
Prosecutors on the case of the misplaced 2007 Inter-Korean Summit transcripts will summon 2 to 3 key figures from the President Roh Moo-hyun administration for questioning.
Prosecutors will be grilling a number of officials from the administration of former President Roh Moo-hyun in relation to the alleged deletion of the 2007 Inter-Korean Summit transcript. The officials are Roh's secretaries, one of whom was Secretary for Security, Jo Myung-gyun. Jo had revised the first draft of the summit transcript. This is not the first time the prosecutors are summoning Jo, as they had previously questioned him last week. They will also call in 2 more secretaries of the former president. Former Presidential Secretary Kim Jong-ho will be questioned by prosecutors today. Prosecutors sent subpoenas to former National Intelligence Service Director Kim Man-bok and former Presidential Secretary Kim Kyung-soo. The State Intelligence Agency had also participated in the summit preparations between Roh and Kim Jong-il. The secretary was also in charge of moving the former administration-related records to Roh's post-retirement residence in Bongha, South Gyeongsang Province. In a news conference, the Roh Moo-hyun Foundation denied the claim that the first draft of the summit transcript was deleted intentionally. Kim Kyung-soo, who is a senior official of the foundation, said the former administration deleted only the title of the first draft to exclude it from a list of records transferred to Bongha. He added that the content of the transcript was left as it is.
그 문서의 목록이 이관 대상 목록에 나타나지 않도록 목록만
The official stressed Roh never ordered the deletion of the draft transcript. However, Kim said he didn't know why the revised transcript was not transferred to the National Archives. Regarding the controversy over the revision of the transcript, he explained it was to correct some errors in the first draft.
A U.S. congressman has urged Japan to take responsibility for its institution of wartime sex slavery, stressing the importance of passing down a proper understanding of history to young people.
U.S. Representative Michael Honda lashed out at Japan for its denial of past wrongdoings like wartime sex slavery. In a meeting with South Korea's Minister of Gender Equality, the U.S. lawmaker stressed the importance of educating Japanese young people to help resolve the issue.
I think that given that the LDP is in charge now, the possibility is very small. I think the attention has to be paid to educating the Japanese public, the young girls.
He called on the Japanese government to acknowledge its past wartime sex crimes and play a leading role in settling the controversy. Honda introduced a resolution that denounced Japan's conscription of women from other Asian nations as sex slaves for its soldiers during World War II. The resolution was passed in the House in 2007. He is now seeking to pass more resolutions against Japan's past crimes in Congress and district councils.
일본이 이 문제에 대해서 진정한 반성과 사과를 하지 않으면 안 된다라는 그런 의견이 아주 높은 것 같습니다.
South Korea is working to arouse international awareness against Japan's wartime sex slavery by raising the issue at the UN. Furthermore, Gender Equality Minister Cho Yoon-sun and the IMF Managing Director discussed boosting cooperation to deal with gender equality issues in Korea.
Recovery efforts are underway in areas affected by Typhoon Donna this week. There's a lot of work to be done, but thankfully the damage was not as bad as expected.
Typhoon Donna raised monstrous tides in waters along Korea's southern coast. The storm has cluttered the roads with rocks. A large hole formed in the seawall. More time is needed before the areas hit by the typhoon are fully recovered. Residents are starting the recovery process by clearing the roads.
관광객들이 워낙 많이 오는 곳이다 보니까 차량이 진입할 수 있을 정도만 간단히 공사를 할 예정입니다.
Trees that fell are being replaced and pesticides are being sprayed at tangerine farms. This is to prevent damages that usually occur after a typhoon, even though the rain did not contain seawater this time. Farmers were also busy picking up fruits that have fallen before the harvest.
이제 수확기가 이제 20일에서 한 달 남았는데 떨어지니까 속상한 거야 속상하죠.
Overall, the typhoon caused blackouts in 22,000 homes and destroyed crops in 56,000 square meters of farmland. Fortunately, no casualties occurred, and the damages were not as big as predicted.
Samsung Electronics made quite a stir when it unveiled the world's first smartphone with a curved screen. We'll bring you a closer look at this mind-bending technology.
This is a smartphone with a curved screen. It's the first of its kind to have been developed and was made by Samsung. The screen is made of unbreakable plastic instead of glass. The handset has a more comfortable grip to make it easier to hold in one hand. This new model stresses Samsung's priority in innovating following the smartwatch it presented as a counter to accusations made by the US.
디스플레이가 좌우로 휘어진 커브드 스마트폰을 출시하면서 모바일 디바이스의 혁신을 주도하고 있습니다.
Meanwhile, LG unveiled its own curved battery. It's expected to be used for LG's curved smartphone that will be out on markets next month. LG also showcased its cable-type battery, which can be folded, twisted, and even tied into a knot. With the unveiling of such technology, smartphones that can be completely bendable no longer seem like a faraway futuristic tale. Amid fiercer competition by international brands, Korean smartphone producers are doing their best to stay ahead of the curve.
A lot has changed in the last 6 decades of division on the Korean Peninsula, including the way that the people speak in the two countries. Increasingly, South and North Koreans are having trouble understanding each other.
This is a North Korean drama depicting the lives of ordinary families in Pyongyang.
거기 마음이 없어요. 안경을 하겠단 말이에요? 쌩합니다.
North Koreans commonly use the term 생하다 to say something is cool. It's part of everyday conversation in North Korea, but South Koreans can't understand it. South and North Korea use different words for same things. For squid, North Koreans call it nakji, while South Koreans call it ojingo. North Koreans refer to cabbage as kadu bechu, while South Koreans call it yangbechu. North Korean escapees find it difficult to understand words that are derived from foreign languages but are commonly used in South Korea. In North Korea, a musical is called kamu iyagi and a donut is called garakjibang. The separation in economic development and different cultures have led to different languages between the two Koreas.
체제 차이로 인해서 서로 다른 용어와 어휘들이 많이 생산되고 지금은 그것이 서로 잘 이해가 안 될 만큼
The South Korean government will publish a dictionary on South and North Korean words to help narrow the difference between them.
Middle school and high school students in Thailand enjoy a 3-week recess during October, but there's no time for rest for their instructors, particularly those who teach the Korean language.
Thai teachers are learning Korean. Their fall vacation lasts only 3 weeks, but they invest 6 hours each day to study the language. They practice speaking with each other.
그러면 그거 보내주세요.
네, 성함하고 주소를 말씀해 주시겠어요?
They read scripts and try their best to write the answers in Korean. This is how some 30 Thai teachers from 33 districts are spending their vacations. They teach Korean as a regular subject at around 70 schools in Thailand to 25,000 students. Starting this year, they can hone their skills even further thanks to a Korean language program.
8개월은 태국에서 연수를 하고 4개월은 한국에서 연수를 하여 1년 과정을 수료한 자에게는
The Thai teacher's zeal for mastering Korean is expected to boost the popularity of Korean culture and its linguistic aspects.
At the Busan International Film Festival this year, several actors have decided to participate as directors for the first time. They're famous for appearing on screen. Now they want to show their chops behind the camera.
Actor Park Geun-hye has attended the Busan International Film Festival every year since its launch. But this year, he's participating in a different capacity. This year, he was invited to the festival as a film director. Park directed the movie Top Star, which is about a former manager who rises to stardom after many twists and turns. It took Park 3 years to write the script and produce the movie, which deals with a very familiar subject to him.
배우를 할 때는 한 가지를 깊게 팠다면 감독은 넓게 봐야 되는 그런 차이점이 있거든요. 최종 책임자라는 생각 때문에 더 어깨가 무겁습니다.
Another A-list actor, Ha Jung-woo, who always gathers crowds wherever he goes, is also attending the Busan International Film Festival as a filmmaker. He's there to publicize his upcoming movie along with its cast.
배우로 매년 왔을 때보다 뭔가 좀 긴장도 되고 또 그 긴장감이 굉장히 스릴이 있고 네 그렇습니다.
A short film directed by actress Chu Sang-mi was also invited to compete in the wide-angle category of the festival. Last year, actor Yoo Ji-tae and actress Koo Hae-sun debuted as filmmakers at the Busan Festival. Each year, there are more and more Korean actors turned filmmakers who are turning people's heads by showcasing their various talents.
A lot of men dread the idea of going bald. Have a look at the lengths men go to keep their luscious locks of hair.
Clinics specializing in treating hair loss are booked solid. Is baldness a growing phenomenon in Korea, or are men just growing more self-conscious about it?
진행형 탈모의 원인은 가장 중요한 게 유전적인 요소인데 최근 들어서는 정신적인 스트레스가 중요한 원인으로 떠오르고 있고 또 생활이 복잡해지면서 우리가 건강에 안 좋은 여러 가지 생활 습관을 갖게 되는데 그런 여러 가지 건강에 안 좋은 생활 습관들이 탈모의 중요한 원인으로 될 수 있습니다.
This man in his early 30s has been struggling with hair loss for 4 years. Now that he's ready for marriage, he came to the clinic as soon as he spotted bald spots to improve his chances with women.
병원 다니는 이유는 장가를 가볼까 하고 처음 만난 사람한테는 좀 이미지가 안 좋을 수 있잖아요. 그래서 좀 치료 생각하고 있는 거죠.
Early symptoms of male pattern baldness include thinning hair on top and a broader show of the scalp when parted. More and more people are turning to scalp care to keep the hair they have healthy.
머리가 자꾸 좀 가늘어지는 것 같아서 예방 차원에서 관리를 받으러 왔습니다.
A clinician checks his scalp condition with a magnifying glass. Scalp care specialists say keeping the scalp clean can help stimulate blood flow and thus prevent hair loss. Comparing his condition after the treatment, we can see there's a big improvement. Here are some scalp massages you can try at home with a friend.
두피에 크게 문제가 없으신 두피를 갖고 계시면서 정상적인 두피를 갖고 계시는 분들이 사용하시기에 좋은 마사지법입니다.
Use your fingertips to press the scalp from the forehead all the way around the crown. Next is the scalp fascia massage.
두피에 피지 분비가 굉장히 많으실 경우는요, 근락 마사지를 해주시는 게 조금 더 도움이 되실 수 있거든요.
Wrap your fingers around the head and apply firm pressure in a circular motion. Be careful not to touch the scalp with your fingernails.
아주 시원하고요. 이렇게 쉽게 편하게 할 수 있는 방법이 있는 줄 몰랐네요. 앞으로는 좀 편하게 집에서도 자주 해야 될 것 같습니다.
Some foods from the sea can help stem the tide of hair loss. Seaweed and kelp are effective. Meanwhile, green tea can block the hormone responsible for hair loss. Walnuts, rich in unsaturated fat, can also help you keep your hair. Finally, there are some fundamental lifestyle changes to prevent baldness. Reduce stress, include sufficient protein in your diet, and get plenty of sleep.
Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Have a great day.